Ohana, this sick pan. I love this so much.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Ryan, for putting this into the
Ryan,
game.
you're the bomb.
Quite hot. Look at the water over there. I've never noticed that. Terran versus Zerg. Ladies and gentlemen, the map is Ohana, and in the bottom right-hand corner
is our red Terran. He is down 0-1. Killing spree is AlexCMoi.
AlexCMoi. I like the red on the Terran.
Yeah, it's a good color.
It's pretty hot. Looks hot there.
Fire.
And his opponent in the top left-hand corner, the only other spawn on this map of Ohana, it's the blue Zerg. Blue looks good on Zerg as well.
I think it's just the classic color of red versus blue.
KSJig.
You think?
You think red versus blue is the man, huh?
The man?
The man.
I didn't say that. I said the classic color.
I think it's the man.
Why does man have to be classic? Why can't other things be classic?
You know what? You just made this awkward, so let's just move on. So, actually, I want to tell you a story. So, on my way here, I took the subway, and I was telling you earlier how two things that annoy me in life happened.
You were really mad, yeah.
And I was really mad about this, yeah. So, what happened was, one thing I hate is when children think that they are smarter than adults.
Oh.
And you see it in sitcoms all the time, which makes me so angry. But, so there's this kid sitting in the back, and then he was like, my friend Calvin, let's just say Uncle Frank and Uncle Vince combined are as smart as Calvin. And I was just like, oh, if that was my kid. There's so many lessons I could teach him right there. No, it's not me. It's just in his family. So he says that, right? And I was just like, ugh. I was really upset about it.
Right.
And then he's like, Dad, what's the square root of 1? And then the dad was like, I don't know. It's not divisible. And then he's like, it's 1. God, that was the easiest thing ever. And I was like, oh, I hate this kid so much. And then he's like, Dad, what's the square root of 2? And the dad's like, 2. He's like, no, it's 4. And I was like, oh my God.
This kid.
Not only is the dad not smart enough to stop him, but the kid thinks he's so smart. And he's like smack talking his dad. I wanted half a mind to just turn around and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're saying the square of 2, but the square root of 2 is not 4, you fool. So I was so angry. I actually had to move.
You know what I would have done? I would turn around and give him a hard question. And can't solve it, be like, you're dumb.
I know, but I didn't want to get into a debate with a kid because I thought that would have brought me to a new level.
You never win.
Yeah. So we do see.
They'll be like, no.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into a fight with a kid who thought his 2 uncles weren't as smart as his friend. He's probably like 6 years old. What's a kid know? So anyways, we have a CC going down and a barracks and a refinery going down for our Terran player. So we should see him tech up and get an expo off of this very quickly. Meanwhile, our Zerg player is getting his spawning pool. He is deciding to go out with a drone to grab this Zelnaga tower, maybe to look around for proxy. So Jig knows that AlexCMoi is a little bit of a ninja with his Rax proxy. So he just wants to make sure, and he's checking some of the more popular spots you would find a double Rax pressure proxy Rax.
Pressure Rax.
Proxy, pressure, Rax pressure.
PPRR.
Wow, I can't believe you actually came up with that acronym.
Anyways, SCV Scout is going into the map now. We can see the spawning pool did go up at a quicker time than the last game. Now Queen's popping out for KSJig here. Definitely wants to be prepared for if anything happens again. 2 lanes are going to be scouting out. Might actually get this SCV depending on the path it takes, depending on the angles of drift it goes through as he runs past. That logo is so cool.
It is. It is.
Grabbing one to the watchtower, but decides, no, I'm going to keep continuing this chase on this SCV. But will he get home? Will Billy get home?
He should be able to get home. Usually the SCV or the moving worker is able to move away fast enough. If this was Protoss, the shields would regenerate fast enough. But it looks like he's had enough land to cover to run away. And now these 2 Zerglings are going to run in here. One almost goes down to the red, but decides to run off in the face of that Gauss rifle held by that Marine. And now a couple Marines are going to sit in this bunker, which is wisely placed right in that corner, right in that elbow nook, right beside that ramp, which allows it to prevent as much surface area as possible to be taken. You can see here as part of the GameHeart overlay, you can see what the buildings are creating when you click on the building. So Songers, maybe you want to explain why the colors are so bright.
The colors are very bright because we are using the Strong Team Colors mod that was actually released on Team Liquid a while back, but it wasn't put into any sort of setting in a certain game. So what Ryan has done with the GameHeart overlay is introduce the setting as a setting in a custom game. So you don't have to go around and change any sort of text files or notepad settings. Once you get in, you can turn the stronger colors on and off. And you know, the stronger colors, it really helps visualize the battle a little bit more, especially if you're using Zerg versus Zerg. It's so hard to tell who Zerglings belong to who. So these colors make it a little easier for the players and the casters.
Yeah, you can definitely notice in the other races, but usually when you're playing Terran versus Terran or Protoss versus Protoss, the colors are sufficient enough where you can tell the difference. But in Zerg versus Zerg, the strong colors will really shine, no pun intended, and you guys will see later on. I do want to remind everyone that that the health bars of the units, you will be able to see them on the right-hand side. So when a unit or a building is clicked, you'll be able to see their health on the right-hand side so that you will always know, and also it shows the energy. You'll also be able to see some of the upgrades. So now with these two Hellions pushing in, these two Lings are going to notice that they're going to roast for their observatory skills, but now these Hellions are going to put on a little bit of aggression. The Queens do move out to try to meet them. They do miss them just by an inch, and the creep spread now is trying to give those map hacks to the Zerg player.
I like how these Queens are like a twin pair. They're laying down tumors at the exact same time.
Yeah,
like,
synchronized tumoring. And these Hellions do try to sneak in. They do get in just far enough, but decide, nope, that's deep, and they don't want to go any farther. One Hellion does lose his life for his troubles with these two Queens playing sentry at the front gate. And now we're going to see that Jig is just going to be droning up like crazy, actually producing a fair bit of an army, so maybe going to be going for a little bit of timing with the Baneling nest going up.
Definitely going for, he's trying to hide these Lings. He doesn't want AlexCMoi to see any of this. The two Queens at the front were able to take the Hellions away, and you can see the Lings that ran out to defend wasn't that many. There was about 4 or 6 that went to defend, but the rest were staying up here.
Now the Hellion numbers are going to be silly for AlexCMoi very soon. He is producing them 2 at a time, and these Hellions do extra damage to light units. So any Zerglings and Banelings that do come out will have a bad time against these Hellions if microed correctly. And the Hellions are now just trying to group up in front by the Xel'Naga Tower, biding their time, waiting for their numbers to be sufficient to give a little bit of a push. And it looks like the timings are going to be meeting at the exact same time. These Hellions are pushing in. They are seen on the creep, and now it looks like the Lings are going to be going completely around them, going to be trying to sneak in. They were not seen at all. This Ling attack might actually be catching Alexei off guard.
AlexCMoi actually is retreating. I think he did catch a glimpse of those Lings right there. Before this, he had no vision at all. Skirting around the side, trying to go for a surround here. Hellions are moving back into that little nook there, trying to not get surrounded by these Lings, but they're getting taken down so fast. There's so many Lings on the map. And if we could just... Did we stop the zoom out ability? You can see that, but it looks like all the Hellions are going to be going down. Now they are trapped in a corner. More Lings coming for a surround, and there goes most of the attacking units of AlexCMoi.
So a steady stream of Zerglings come in and absolutely eviscerate that army. Those Hellions just couldn't stand strong enough to take care of all those Lings. Although they do great splash damage, they just couldn't get away, and they were caught in such a wide open area that those Lings basically took well advantage of that. Oh, look at that. Even putting Banelings on top of the eSports Canada logo. Look how sick that is.
That's a lot of Banelings rolling
pixels.
in. They're so bright and they're so gooey. I feel like they're just going to explode, and boom, there goes the supply depot. There goes the Marines trying to do a nice split there, but there are no bunkers up. SCVs and Neils running in the corner, and it's just a massacre in AlexCMoi's base.
These Banelings have been super effective, absolutely walking right through the front gate. AlexCMoi trying to remove his SCVs from the danger zone. One tank comes out, is going to get killed very quickly. With the zoom out feature, we can see absolutely everything that's going on. These Lings like locusts just ravaging everything within the base of AlexCMoi. He's having a hard time trying to stabilize. The Baneling hit on his workers at his main were already very successful. Now the Lings clean up the rest, and there's nothing in AlexCMoi's base of army except for the Lings of his opponent, and that causes Alexei to... Wow, that was